Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome to another video. And in this video, I decided to talk about the three types of trends we have in every single market. It doesn't matter if it's crypto, forex, doesn't matter if it is orange juice futures or the S&P 500. It doesn't matter what it is. This chart pattern, all right, is valid on every single chart, and it is determined for bias. All right, so when we see this pattern, it means that we have a bias, meaning price should keep on going in such direction. All right, and these three patterns are what you see on the screen here. Pretty much these three trends, correct? Which are uptrends, okay, downtrends, and sideways trends. All right, these are the three trends that every market has, and the way we spot them is by looking at them on the charts, and I'll break everything down for you guys. All right, but here's what I need you guys to keep in mind. Every uptrend, it has a breakout segment. All right, every downtrend has a breakdown segment. All right, and every sideways trend, it does not have a breakout segment. All right, sideways trends do not have a breakout segment. Okay, and I'm gonna show you guys the charts, the trends in the charts now in real life examples and in the charts, because even though we got the pictures here and they're very good, uh, I want to break everything down to you guys. So let's get started here. All right, and I want to go to ES first because ES was on a sideways trend, which is technically from here. But since I know we're gonna go lower, let me just do it to here. All right. So this is a tool I like to use a lot when I used to do this a lot, but nowadays I'm very good just with my eyesight, so I don't really need this. But get the boxes, the rectangles, right? And then look at this up segment, okay? It's a green rectangle. And what do I do? Every time, zoom out a lot. First things first, you want to be zoomed out a lot. And every time price has these swings right here, whether they're to the upside or downside, all right? You want to be marking your rectangle boxes. So I'm gonna start from the most current price, from the most recent price, all right? So pretty much from here all the way to here, up segment, all right? And then from here to here, down segment, and then from here all the way to here. Those are my minor segments right there, from that to there, there, and there. All right. And then I have these major segments right here. Look, right here and right around here. Boom. Okay. Price is in this range here. Once we confirm this, look at that. We had an uptrend. Price is going to continue on going higher. But once we reach this extreme right here, this is perfect. Boom. This that you guys are seeing right now is a sideways trend because there is no breakout or breakdown segment. All right, price is trading within this range right here, and this was also within this range here, so there's no breakouts. All right, what price can really do is just reject these highs, come back and bounce from these lows because we're just sideways. All right, sideways trends. Okay, and then boom, here as well. This is the outside range, and this is sort of the inside range. And look, price is just gonna play within these areas. And let me even go to a different chart now. You see how price is playing within these areas? Because we were sideways the whole week. Look, throughout February, sideways, sideways, sideways action. I think we're still, yeah, we broke under this. We came out to here, and but we bounced back on up because we are sideways. All right. I tried to get in some ES longs. I wasn't filled into them, But look, sideways trend, all right? That's why so many traders are getting like trapped out and like stopped out because we were in a sideways trend, and they gotta acknowledge that you want to short near the extremes up and buy near the bottoms. All right. Let me go to crypto because I know that Bitcoin also has a nice sideways trend. So let me zoom out here and look at this, guys. Up segment, right? I just need this. I don't really mind about all the other segments because I know that all of this price has been trading within this range. Price is trading within this high right here and this low. All right, this is a sideways trend. And look, we have a drop base rally right here. Okay, I can even go to a higher time frame. Look, 4 hour drop base rally. Look at that. That's clean as it gets. Right there. One candle. Drop base rally. Alright. And then there's a rally base drop right here. Just wanna find that perfect candle. We're gonna right here. Boom. That's me going for like the perfect candle right there, 45-minute. But this right here would have been what I probably would have marked on the 60 here. Boom. Stream. 1 hour supply. Boom. So look, sideways trend. Reject. Bounce. Reject. You see? Bounce. Reject. We were in a sideways trend. From the moment price started turning down, you gotta keep in mind that we are in a sideways trend. You know? Now, this is a sideways trend. Sideways trends were broken down as just when you don't have a breakout or a breakdown segment and we're trading within a range. Okay? Now, let's go to the second example, which is for uptrends and downtrends. Alright? So take a look at this right here. What is a uptrend? Let me get the picture. Let me pull the picture here out so you guys can also see it. One second, guys. I'm pulling the picture here out. Uptrend. Boom, boom, boom. So, uptrend. What is a uptrend? Uptrend is pretty much when demand is exceeding supply, buyers are in control, all right? Swing lows are in control. We're making higher highs and higher lows in potions, all right, or up segments, and then we have our correction phases, which are our down segments, and you want to look to buy. That's what an uptrend is, all right? And this is how you spot a uptrend. It needs to have a low, and then it needs to make a high. From that high, we need to go lower, and we just need to break above the high. We need a breakout, all right? And the low is going to be above the previous one, all right? And keep this in mind, okay? You see the uptrend has been made, all right? This low right here, the lowest point before the breakout, okay? The lowest point, it's called or controlling pivot, all right? And what is the controlling pivot? Pretty much every time. So, okay, here we have the uptrend, all right? And let's say price is going to continue. What did we just do? We just got a new breakout, all right? Or controlling pivot also has to update. And why is it named controlling pivot? Because it controls the trend. Once we break below this point, the trend has been broken. All right? So, let me show you guys the example now on the charts. We have this low right here, correct? And then we have this high right over there. Low, high. Then we have this low, which is higher than these lows right here. There is a minor trend here, but if I go up one time frame, you're not even gonna see it. Look, you're just a drop base rally. So think about it as a low, high, higher low, and then here it is that breakout. All right, And here we have our controlling pivot. Also keep in mind that high, low, lower high, we haven't talked about it, but the downtrend has been terminated. All right? Downtrend has been terminated, uptrend has been formed. What does this mean? Look to go longs, look to buy, right? So let's see here until where this uptrend is gonna go to. Damn, we annihilated the uptrend. RIP. All right, that uptrend has been terminated, but now we had a sideways trend here. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. Boom, boom, boom. See, sideways trend, sideways trend, sideways trend. Damn. Okay, we got a breakdown. This is interesting right here. We finally got a break under a low. And now, let's talk about the downtrend. Well, the uptrend has been terminated. It happens, N nothing, no trends last forever. Let's talk about the downtrends now. All right. What is a downtrend? Downtrend is in supply exceeds demand. Sellers are in control. All right, highs are in control. Lower highs and lower lows. Impulsions are the down segments, corrections are the up segments, and you want to look to sell. What do we have here? We have a high, low, lower high, break down. All right, and then high, low, lower high, break down. Okay, and then this is our controlling pivot. Oop, just like our uptrends, all right, this is how a downtrend is formed. We have a high, a low, a high that's lower than the previous high, and then a break down. All right, boom. You only confirm a downtrend once you actually get the break under this point right here, this level. All right, that's when you confirm the downtrend. And when the downtrend gets broken is when we break above the controlling pivot. All right, and the controlling pivot is going to update as the trend updates. All right, because what is expected is for trends to continue. Okay, and let's see here now this example with this Bitcoin trade. Because now we just made a downtrend. Let's see if this trend is going to continue. Look at that. Now you can update it here. Boom. This is on a lower time frame, all right? I can see this trend on a lower time frame. Price is retesting. There's a nice supply zone right here, which is already giving you a nice bounce back into this demand zone. And then look at that. The downtrend has been terminated. But our strategy, we trade supply and demand zones inside trends, right? So there's a supply zone right here. Let's see just the risk to reward. How much was this? Back to our opposing demand zone, qualified demand zone, which is somewhere here. Not somewhere here, but literally right here. And this is a trick that I have inside of the group, guys, and I'll share with you guys. Uh, what I do is I don't expect a touch of the demand zone because sometimes we don't just go exactly into the zone, it's just the general area. So what I like to do is a 75% move to the zone for every TP, which my TP would have been right here, right at 1.81, which look at that first bounce right there. Shot us back up and then we have the general area and shot back on up. Nice little trade. All right. Downtrend has been terminated now, though. And look at this. Uptrend has been formed. Low, high, higher low, break out. So we are expecting this market to go higher now. Now we go higher. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. Look at that. Any buys would have worked until we get the break of the trend. And it keeps on updating. For example, I'm on the 2-day here, but if I drop to the daily, look at this. Low, high, higher low, break out. All right. And then if I can go back to the 2-day chart, we do have a zone right here One day, right here, there's something. There's a rally-based rally here that broke out, and then there's also something over here. Boom. But then look, the trend is gonna keep on updating. We got the breakout, boom. Now it gets updated to here. Longs are still valid. You want to still keep on trading the longs. Look, we got a downtrend here, but we still haven't broken through the uptrend. What is going to happen now? Breakdown and controlling pivot. You see how we have two trends? This can happen many times. And there's things we do when these scenarios occur, but I'm not gonna share the sauce with you guys. It's something you guys are gonna have to figure it out on your own because then like I'm already giving too much things. You know, I'm already teaching you guys the whole concept. I'm not just gonna give you guys the edge behind the concept because this is discretionary trading. And you gotta figure it out, man. That's where I'm teaching you guys the whole concept, but the rules behind the concept and how you're really gonna define it, that's where you're gonna put in the work and like be really a scientist behind everything, you know? But I can show you guys the path, but you gotta put in the work as well. You know, I'm not just gonna give you guys everything. But look, we have two trends here. What is going to happen? You see, this is why we're sideways right now because the market doesn't know where it wants to go. We have an uptrend and a downtrend. Look, that uptrend has been terminated. Boom, terminated the uptrend. The downtrend continued. Okay, but with every breakdown, we also got to uptrend the update the downtrend. So we got a new breakdown right here, and our controlling pivot gets updated. All right. Oops, I'm missing something. Look at here. Look at here. Okay, we got a breakdown of this low, and boom, and then termination of the downtrend. Okay, the downtrend has been terminated. We don't have a trend right now in this market. Oh, look at that. We reclaimed the downtrend. This also happens, guys. This also happens. Trading isn't like 100% all the time. It's gonna be this. No, we can break a downtrend and reclaim it. That's part of trading, you know? And then look at that. Boom. Oh, oh, we never broke the controlling pivot. Guess what? The downtrend is still valid. This is just a pullback into a supply zone that's part of this downtrend, all right? You can go to a lower time frame and find it. But look, downtrend now updated, baby. Boom. This is how you follow the trend. This is all just a pullback, all right? This was all just a pullback in this bigger picture downtrend. And look, boom. Now we might terminate the trend or it might continue. Let's see. Okay, boom. Downtrend terminated. Boom. All right. What do we have here now? It's very clear. Low, high, higher, low, breakout. And then our controlling pivot is right here. Keep in mind, guys, I'm just showing you guys the market trends. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Uptrend, gorgeous retest to the breakout area, held the general area. There's a demand zone right around here. Okay. You guys might not see this as a demand zone, but I already see this as demand zone. All right. And look at that. Boom. Gorgeous test to the zone. Uptrend. All right. Now it keeps updating. Oops. Oops. Look. Every time we pretty much get a major drop, a major swing point lower, that's when you want to update it. And look, we got the breakout, we got the retest, now it's shooting back on up. You guys see how the trends, they just continue in the charts. And look, high, low, lower high, break down. I can already see this because I've been doing this for years, you know. So for me, it's easy. I can already spot them and I have tips and tricks behind them that I'm not telling you guys in this video, but I'm just showing you and breaking them down in the charts here. All right, look, downtrend terminated and look, boom, breakout, controlling pivot. The uptrend is still in play. We never broke through here, so the uptrend was never broken. All this bullish price action is still valid. Look, we got the breakout, uptrend gets updated. Still want to be looking for longs. That's what you want to keep in mind. You want to be looking for longs. Look, oh, got the breakout, and then boom, uptrend got terminated right here. Happens, and then we got a downtrend now. Oh, look at that. Why is the market selling off? Why is the market selling off? Uptrend terminated, downtrend formed. Why? Where else are we supposed to go? If you were having problems finding a bias in the market, maybe you just don't know how to read trend. Have you ever thought about that, bro? Because what a lot of traders teach is, oh, we got the break of structure. Oh, price closed above this right here. We got the break of bro, that is incorrect. That is not how you read the market trend. And I don't know what break of structure is, but it can be something, in whatever strategy you use. But for me, not valid. Not valid. All right. What I like to read is the market trend. Trend, what is the trend, brother? Look, the trend was down. I got confirmation that we were gonna start dropping all the way here. Look at this. This is a what? 36% drop, you know? Of course, it's crypto, and the swings are higher always on crypto than like stocks or anything, but you feel me? Like, learn how to read trend. Watch this video over and over again. Practice this if you have to. But look, let's see what's gonna keep on happening. Look, breakdown updated. Controlling pivot. Low. This is the highest point. I can go to a lower time frames and look. Low. From here all the way to here. And then to here. I'm just reading the market trend and it's down. Why are we going down? Okay, we're about to terminate it now. Oh, there we go. Got the termination, got the break, and but look. Okay, market wants to go up. You keep updating it. But you see how we respect it every time? Look, drop base rally. Went higher. Like, it's not hard, bro, if you just trade with the trend. It's not hard. Just trade with the trend. Okay? I hope this video helped you guys into like finding bias and stuff. Because it's not hard. For real, just trade with the trend. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need 1,000 indicators to know if price is gonna go up or down. You just need the trend. Okay? You just need the trend. And I hope this video helped because it's not hard. And I just showed you guys multiple examples. The issue is most people they want to overcomplicate things. You see, you can uptrends can be broken. We can reclaim uptrends. We can break an uptrend just to make another one again. We can break a downtrend just to make another one. But people like to overcomplicate little details, and that's like what fucks them up, you know? Because they see one trend they see that the trend gets broken, but they keep trying to trade that price action. For example, let me go to that short example, which is right here. The uptrend got broken right here, but had you kept trying any of these longs with these breakouts, you would have been stopped out. Okay? And me, I would have been taking all the shorts because I see a downtrend right in front of my face. I just don't overcomplicate price action. Okay? And most of you guys do that are trading out there that are new to this. I used to be in your position of overcomplicating, so I understand. That's why I'm like bashing on it right now because you guys can get better, and there is, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me. You just gotta be locked in and want it bad enough. Do you? Do you? Ask yourself that. Nah, you don't even gotta ask yourself that. You know what's gonna tell you that? Your trade motherfucking journal and your trade routine. If you have a routine towards trading and you have a journal and you're back testing daily, you're already on the right path because that's what I was doing in order to become consistently profitable. Trading journal, gathering my data, gathering my setups. What are setups? Setups pretty much are circumstances of things that need to happen over and over again for you to get into the market. All right. So pretty much the pattern it needs to open and you need to have the rules defined and everything. All right. And uh, get gathering the data on those setups, writing my rules, defining everything, and that happens through back testing. Mm, I was looking because I have everything saved. Everything of my trading journey, I have it saved. All right. And let me say one thing. I my I was sleeping at 4:30 in the morning. No, actually, I was sleeping at 2:30 in the morning, and I was waking up at 7 in the morning every day while I was learning my strategy, defining the rules, defining how to really trade, and really learning everything and getting it down. Because now you can put me on any market, I'll be able to perform in Excel. Any market. I backtest different markets every week. Whether it's Microsoft, Google, Walmart, every stocks. I backtest a lot. I'm mostly trading like stocks and futures. That's what I backtest the most. But in any market you put me on, I'll be able to perform. With the same strategy, which is crazy. It's the same strategy. I don't need to change a strategy just because I'm changing markets. And I believe that if you need that, then you don't really have a strategy. You have something that's just working for right now because of market conditions. But once they change up, uh, then your whatever little edge you have is gonna stop working. Trust me, I've been there as well, done that. I've been in every position you guys can think of when it comes to trading, even like buying robots and like thinking I was gonna get rich quick. I've been into every position, all right? And trust me, like no, no, no. All right, I've been in every position and that's why I can speak about it. I have the experience to like tell you. The best way for you to get good at something is you doing the work you're avoiding. You feel me? So if you're watching a lot of videos, stop watching them videos and go back test. You don't need more educational videos. Maybe you do in the beginning. That's why I hope you're here because you're in the beginning of your uh trading phase or you don't like where you're at right now and you're changing stuff. But if you've been watching this video for 10 times over again, then bro, what are you doing here? Like you should be back testing what you've been taught for 10 times back to back to back. You don't need to rewatch the same things, bro. I promise. Like no, just learn, get the knowledge and go apply it. Learn, get the knowledge, and go apply it. Because the only way you're gonna learn, actually get the knowledge, is if you apply it. It's not just by watching. All right. But yeah, the video's getting too big here, and 28 minutes, 29 pretty much, 30 minutes. Yeah, nice show, 30-minute video. Hope this video was good. Hope you guys liked it, and enjoy enjoy the video, and I hope it helped. I don't know what to say, but yeah, peace out, guys, and have a great week. Have a great week. And yeah, peace out.